I'm Olivia. I'm in my first year of studying experimental psychology at Oxford.
Hi, I'm Anne, a second year PBS student at Cambridge.
So, experimental psychology at Oxford is quite scientific, so we're always discussing experimental evidence to back up anything that we say. Also, the department is widely regarded to be the leading psychology department in the UK, and I think this contributes to the fact that our tutors are often the ones doing the research that we're learning about.
I chose to do psychology at Cambridge because the course itself is really flexible. It allows you to take 2 additional papers to 2 core papers that you're assigned to each year, with these 2 additional papers being literally anything. For example, you could do a sociology paper or even a philosophy paper.
So for me, yes. I considered the biomedical sciences course because at that point I wanted to study neuroscience. So at Oxford there's a bit of an overlap between biomedical sciences and experimental psychology in that both include some study of neuroscience, but I think ultimately I decided that I wanted to study the psychological topics more than I wanted to study the more biological topics covered by the biomedical sciences course, so that was how I made my decision.
I was conflicted between English literature and psychology, however I chose to do psychology because I really wanted to challenge myself. I had this initial fear of stats and biology, mainly learning about the brain, so I thought by doing psychology at Cambridge it would allow me to obviously get over these fears.
So more generally, I really enjoy the creativity that you get when we're coming up with new further experiments that could test hypotheses and then discussing these concepts with tutors and with other students. And then more specifically, I really enjoy the topic of social psychology. For example, we learn about group conflict and group behaviour.
I would say my favourite aspect of the course is that you leave each lecture wanting to learn more about the topic. For example, you enter a lecture hall thinking, yeah, this topic is not going to be for me, it's going to be extremely boring, and you always leave a lecture hall running to the library like, I want to read more about this topic, I want to write an essay about this topic, I want to learn about this topic for the rest of my life. So I probably think that's my favourite aspect of the course. The lectures really do inspire you, and I think that is really amazing.
So I would just recommend that you read and watch as much as you can. For example, TED Talks are great and they're free to access. I think that because psychology is such a popular subject, there are so many free resources out there online about all sorts of psychology, and that's a really good way to really find out what you want to study. Also, there's lots of research going on in Oxford, so you can go to the Oxford Experimental Psychology Department website and see the research that different groups are doing there, so I think that's a really useful thing to do too. Good luck.
I would say to just take the first step and apply. I think when applying for Cambridge, the most difficult thing to do is actually start the application process. For me, applying to Cambridge was very last minute. My sixth form really didn't tell people to apply for Oxford. I think only one person from the year above went to Cambridge. So I would say just apply. Don't be, for example, insecure. Don't let your self-doubt hold you back. You are good enough. Please apply to Cambridge, and I really hope to see you next year.